How you doing, guys? Got a quick question for you, man. Have anybody actually really told you about the importance of credit, right, and how you can actually use it to leverage it to grow, right? And I actually like really sit down with you and tell you what works. Like my dad always talk. I was like, son, I told you about credit. Like, no, you did. You didn't tell me about like how you can actually work it out, like how important it is, like how you couldn't get an apartment or a place if you didn't have good credit. I mean, I joined the military pretty early on at 21, so I didn't really get a, I'm saying my first major place to myself and all this stuff like that was in the military barracks. So I didn't really have to look into it. So I didn't really learn to get educated on until later on. Right, I didn't know that you got your credit is pretty much your financial reputation, right? And if you're not doing it, if you're not leveraging it right or managing it correctly, then you get all the types of doors shut on you. You can miss out on deals and everything, right? So pretty much like the banks look at your credit as your trust. Like, how can I trust this person with this asset or this income or this capital that I own? Can I lend it to them, right? Can I trust them to give it back to me and then the interest on top of that, right? So that's why credit is really important. So they want to look about your trustability when it comes to things. I had to learn the hard way, right? So I pretty much went into like collections and stuff like that, right? So I was using my money from groceries and stuff like that to try to buy a Christmas present for my family. And when I didn't have all of it for the stuff that I wanted to get them, I would get on a credit card, right? And me not knowing much about credit, I just used it and then let it go to collection. Then I had to pay it back. Fast forward now, I can't get approved for car loans. I can't get approved for the regular credit cards. I could barely get approved for secured credit cards, right? So that's how important it is to actually have that in your back pocket, because I never realized that you can actually use credit to leverage it to get access to more capital to start now build a business, now invest in things to help you get more income, things like that you would never actually put to your brain, right? So it's important for you to kind of know the value of having a great credit score, right? So the things that actually makes up a good credit, the one they're gonna look at your payment history, right? They're gonna look at your utilization. Okay, they're gonna look at the length of your history. All right, they're gonna look at your credit mix, and they're gonna look at new credit, right? So your payment history is basically like if you have any missed payments on the amount of time that you had the loan. Right, so you had the loan for 3 years, and have you missed a payment at any point in time that 3 years? That's extremely important. If you got just one, that's a no go. You're not gonna get approved for these big funding opportunities, right? You want $50,000 on one line of credit or one business credit card. It's not happening with a missed payment. Okay, so you gotta make sure you have all those things legally split, nice and clean. Then also your utilization, right? Utilization is basically like how much you own on the credit, how much you own on your credit card balances. So if you got a credit card for $1,000, they don't want you going over $300, which is 30%, right? Really now with $100, which is 10%, right? That's what we like to keep you at. But how much you owe on that, right? If you got $1,000 limit and you owe 900, then that's 90%, right? So do the math on, and that's on all the cards that you own, all the cards that you use on that's reported on your report. That's what they do the utilization right on. So you want to make sure you're on the low end of that at 10%. Next thing we want to talk about is your length of history, right? So how long you actually had it. Like if you're brand new, 18 years old, I mean, you pretty much gonna have to wait it out, right? Don't try to get approved for anything large just starting out at 18 because you don't got the history. Now, that's a cheat code for that. One way you do is by how what the wealthy do is they owe the parents, like the adults and the grandparents, stuff like that. They'll put you, the young 18-year-old, onto their car as an authorized user, and now that length, like they say they had a car for like 25 years, but you 18. Well, that you only got one account, and then that's that 25 year card that you got from your elder. Well, now it looks like you got 25 years of history in your credit report, even though you're only 18 years old. They look at that, right? And they that will actually boost your score, right, and make you look even more appealing to the banks, right? So, and that's actually a business too, if you didn't know, right? So if you got a bunch of cards with like 15 years, 10 years, 8 years, really anything over 5 years, people are looking at it like, hey, I will buy that from you. They spend money on, to get that trade line for you. Is what it's called a trade line. So it's a trade line business. I actually have a trade line business as well, and I sell trade lines to people as well who's looking to get funding. So my clients, when I have them coming through and I'm building out their profile, not only do I help them get the right counts they need to get, but I also get them access to trade lines that's gonna make their score look even higher. Doing what I just explained to you just now, right? So which will shoot their score even higher, and now they're looking good to the banks, right? So That's the business. So if you have a bunch of cars on your in your person, right? They got all those years on it, but you never thought about using your business that way. Reach out to me in the comments, right? And we can definitely hook you up, okay? But moving on. So the next thing we have is the credit mix, right? So credit mix is revolving account, which is your credit cards, right? Credit cards either go up and down. You use all the way 1,000, then you pay it back on to zero, but you can use that 1,000 again. It's what's called revolving. It doesn't close, right? So they want you to have a big credit mix. They want you to have revolving accounts. They want you to have regular installment accounts, is what they call it, right? That's your car loans, right? They want you to have mortgages, right? A home loan. But you don't have to have one, but it looks really, really appealing to the banks when you do have one, right? So you want that as well, and etc. Right? Anything else that comes with lending, right? Then your new credit. Now your new credit, that's what they call. That's the increase part, right? How many new inquiries you got. And really, typically, once you go over 4, they shut the door at that point. Especially how tight they're getting nowadays. So you don't want to go over 2, 3 inquiries at the max, right? And then before you start applying for things, right? But 4 is a ultimate cutoff, right? So that's want to put you out there. So if you're new here, right, and you don't know what it's like to actually structure your business, right, we help you do those things. So we help you get everything on track when it comes to make sure your business profile is structured the right way. Right, I help you. Sims Legs Investing, our company, we help you actually get your your LLC format if you don't have one already. We help you get that EIN if you don't have one. We help you get that website if you don't have one. We help you get listed on the internet if you haven't done that. So right, we help you get your business address, right? What can just be any address that's not your own, right? It don't have to be a virtual address. It don't have to be a brick and mortar. It can't be a PO box. They ain't having that, right? So we tell you the specifics of those things, right? And we help you make sure you get a business phone number. We want to make sure you look professional. Make sure you get a 1-800 number, right? That looks professional to them. Okay, so you don't just know you can't go in there with I got 770 phone number. I got 770 business number. They look at you like you're a little suspect. So just make sure you have everything documented the right way, and that's what we do at Sims Legacy Investing. We help you get the thing carved out the right way. Okay, so as well, we make sure you get your website set up, right? We make sure you get whether it's a landing page or a regular website to make sure you streamline together, right? We even help you create a funnel as well, if that's what your company needs. If you feel like you got enough clientele or already that you want to get a funnel and use AI to make sure things managed properly, we help you get that together. If you don't have it together, it'd be wise to get one, right? Just so you know, okay. As well. So once we get the pretty much LLC built out the right way over the things I just described for you, right? We help you get not one LLC. We want you to form 3 of them. Reason why is because when we get you funded with your good credit score and LLC that I just described here, you get it funded 3 times. So if you got $10,000 on a bank with a good score on one of those LLC, well, you multiply that by 3. You get the exact same card just for those 3 different businesses. Then we just triple your businesses, right? Triple your funding, so to speak, right? So that's a different way. So we leverage our skill sets here at Sims Legacy Investing to make sure that you guys are in place for you to get into position so you can get access to the capital that you need. Okay. So yeah, if you're new here, tap in online. Make sure to type fun in the comments and chats, and we'll make sure to get you guys started. Okay.